I'll give you food.
Yeah. Put your Monopoly away.
Fuck you.
He's addicted to Monopoly Go. I don't know what to tell you
don't fucking
guys.
play Monopoly Go?
I play Monopoly Go too.
Yeah, suck my dick.
Well,
Well.
you wanna introduce today?
Nah.
No. Well, fine. Welcome back to JMB Unsupervised, where Brandon is tired because he had to mow his grass today.
No, I did. Unlike you who hasn't mowed their fucking
That's
grass.
well, honestly,
Well, I'm telling your wife to tell you to mow your fucking grass.
I don't really want to mow the grass, so I clean the house instead.
Where's those kids that come back like, hey, mow your grass like 10
Ah,
bucks?
we were. I miss those kids.
Like, I'm like, bro, I'll give you a shot of whiskey, you mow my fucking front yard. Like, I'll give you a shot of lemonade with a little something in it.
Oh man.
I'll go buy you a 12-pack, bro. Like, mow my grass. Run back. You
Especially with all the rain that we got, I know dude, my grass thicker than a motherfucker right now.
Oh shit, I'm pretty sure Shrek was in my backyard, dude. Like, he was hanging out in the swamp.
No, but
Fucking bad.
before we get started on today's episode, Brandon, last episode we tried the Mountain Dew Hards.
No.
Oh, whoa.
We did it during the draft.
Oh, that's right.
When
Sorry.
We went live.
Went live.
We tried the some of the Mountain Dew Hards.
And we did not drink all of them. We'll try some of them. So we have
tried all of them. These are the sugar-free ones.
So we got some new ones right here. We're gonna start right here. We got the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Punch Zero Sugar. These cans are like really dope. Like,
yeah, these are the healthy ones. Your sugar ones.
21 plus, contains alcohol, 5% ALC/volume. So
the Baja Blast ones taste just like Baja Blast. Just saying. These are Baja Blast base.
These are zero sugar too.
Baja Blast with another flavor to it.
Wow, that's good. Like the alcohol hits you really quick.
Punch. Well, this is punch.
It hits you quick, but then you taste a. Like it hits you, and then it's like, woo!
I don't know.
It's not.
I don't know. I mean, it's.
That one's not bad. You definitely taste the punch to me. Like the aftertaste is like punchy.
Yeah, definitely like a. Just definitely like a punch.
To me, it really is. What's our next one up on the list? This one's not bad.
I'm gonna go with my least favorite. I think it's what's.
Oh
be my least
shit!
favorite.
Are you going the? God damn it!
We got the pineapple.
Fuck!
Pineapple. All right. I mean, again, like the can's cool. Can's cool. It's Baja Blast Pineapple, zero sugar,
I'm scared.
5% alcohol volume.
So we think this is gonna be our least favorite. Well,
it's pineapple.
Yeah.
I don't know the fetish behind pineapple. It's kind of like on pizza. It doesn't belong. Go to Italy and do it.
I'm not going to Italy to do that. I'm not dying in Italy.
Exactly.
Like I'm not doing that in Italy.
You made my point.
Yeah, bitty.
Well, it's very yellow.
I'm scared. I don't know how I feel about this one.
It's not.
The cans are dope though. Like shout out to the designer who's coming out recently with all these cool designs. You're hitting it on the mark.
It's not bad. It really kind of tastes like just like Mountain Dew. Like it.
Like it tastes like Mountain Dew that someone like if you drop like a pineapple in your Mountain Dew.
Well, all these Hards taste just kind of like pop. Like I mean,
it's more like they taste like Mountain Dew,
like
but the aftertaste is really where you get
find the flavor.
The flavor, but it really is
not that bad. Like it's not bad. I wouldn't say it was.
I'll have to tell you, it's a lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
What would you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 the pineapple?
Well, hold up. We got to start with the blast punch. Like I'd give this one a solid 7 in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll say it's a solid 7.
I like this one. That one, honestly, probably a 6. Like just below this one. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Especially pineapple. Like I haven't really.
I gotta give it a 5. Like it's not bad, but again, I'm not
like halfway.
Pineapple.
And then now we got Blast Mango. This might be my favorite can. Like look at that fish on there. It's a swordfish. Like okay, like and it's
that one's a stingray.
Orange. Like how
I'm stingray.
Ooh. Hopefully this one don't let me down. It's orange too. They've all been the same color
That's orange. That's punch.
What is
like
this one?
Orange. It's like a.
I don't know.
A light orange.
Mm-hmm.
You're asking from that. I'm colorblind. Like my shirt yellow. Like I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about your TV on the live. It was
It's
blue.
not.
He's so mad about it because, like, when you look at it, it don't look blue. But when we put the camera on it, it was blue.
Blue as a motherfucker. All right, Baja Blast mango. I don't know, honestly, what the fuck a mango is. I feel like it's like the cousin of like an orange.
I gotta go back to the punch. Like that one hurt.
Oh, it has a smell. First one has a smell.
Oh, dude, I don't like that one. That's like, I'll be generous and give it a 2. I don't like it.
What's wrong with this one?
I don't like it. I guess I'm just not a mango person.
I don't even know what a fucking mango really is.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not a fan of it. That one to me just didn't. I don't know. Like, that's my least favorite. Like,
I don't know. Carbonation making me burp. It's not bad. It's better than pineapple.
oh no, it's for me. I'd go the punch.
Try it again, but don't smell it. Like, don't. Oh my! You don't know how to drink? You don't know how to drink without fucking taking a breath. Like you don't know how to drink without taking a breath. Just no. No, just take a drink and don't like actually smell it.
Like I said, it's my least favorite. I'm not a fan of it.
I would put this at like a 6. I would put
Like,
it at a 6, 6.5.
I would go like a 3, 2, 3. Like,
Oh, the pineapple was definitely.
the pineapple for me was
Way
a
worse.
6. I don't know. Like,
Pineapple.
we finally disagreed. Like, I'm happy
Pineapple's
about
a 4. The pineapple's like.
But honestly though, like the punch, like I could drink the punch one all day long. Like this is my favorite one. But you guys definitely got to get out and try these. Like I said, these are the zero sugar ones. We did the non-zero sugar ones last time.
Mountain Dew LimeWire, Mountain Dew Baja Blast. They also have Mountain Dew Baja Blast, sugar-free. We're not trying those because we already tried the Baja.
We've done the monsters. Like I said, if there's something else you want us to try, hit us up. Let us know about it. We'll definitely go get it and we'll rate it on here and give you our opinion. So, but we've tried a bunch of different things. Like
There is something that I would like to try. That I ran across.
Oh.
That you know who's the famous guy that he's a big Texas fan. He's an actor.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
This is his tequila.
Huh.
Pantaloons tequila.
You have to put that up to the. You have to put that up.
Oh,
yeah, we go.
I don't know, guys. Pantaloons tequila.
That's Matthew McConaughey's.
Matthew McConaughey and his wife's tequila. And you gotta look him up. I mean, he's big, so I mean,
he's a big actor. Everybody knows
Matthew
Matthew.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
But like the story behind them coming up and making it, it's really funny. And so like I was like, I gotta look into this, and definitely something I think we gotta have to try. Pretty affordable for tequila. I think it's about around $30-$40. So like for tequila,
That's probably not bad.
not too bad. And like he even was like he made it affordable on purpose because like obviously he could make it hellishly expensive because.
Well, his name just
People
because.
are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But I am definitely.
That might be something we might be trying on here.
But like, definitely down to waste our money versus yours, so you guys know if it's good or not.
Pretty much. Like, why not? But so the NFL draft was last week, and we streamed it live on YouTube. That was our first time going to you. But we personally want to thank you guys for helping us get over 50 subscribers so we could go live. Appreciate all the love and support we've gotten from you guys. We're still climbing. Make sure you subscribe. But like I said, we did the draft live, and we're going to go through the first 13 picks. That's what we decided we're going to go through. So obviously,
You decided.
well, I did decide. The Chicago Bears selected Caleb Williams first overall, which was really no shocker to a lot of people.
If you were shocked, I don't know where you've been. Like,
Can he turn the Chicago Bears around?
what do you mean turn around? They're upwards. They're moving upwards. Like it's literally a stacked roster he's walking into. He has weapons across the board. The offensive line is going to be a top 15 unit. He has a running back. The defense is being put together well. Like this is probably the best opportunity a number 1 overall pick has had.
Yeah. The only thing I would say for Caleb Williams that I'm struggling with in Chicago is the coaching staff. I don't know if I behind the coaching staff all the way, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. But we'll have to see what's it. But the second overall pick, Jalen Daniels went number 2 overall to the Washington Commanders. Again, Not really shocking.
No.
To me, he's kind of like Lamar Jackson, but has a better arm coming out of the draft. Like
Coming out of college, I think.
coming out of college. So
Pocket.
the Commanders, I mean, he's probably going to have a little bit of a tougher time. They're still
But
rebuilding.
a better coaching staff.
Better coaching staff, though. New England went Drake May, number 3 overall. So
I like it though. I mean, especially if they sit him for. I'm all for sitting the quarterbacks and letting them develop.
that's what they said. So remember, you guys
Even
got to
if it's,
remember,
like, half a season.
they signed Jacoby Brissett, who's been part of that franchise before. So he's basically a veteran. And they said if they were going to sign a veteran quarterback, draft a quarterback, and let him sit. We'll see if they stay true to their word and let him develop. Now we're getting to the 4th pick, which we really say is really the first overall pick because the first 3 picks were quarterback.
And everybody
So,
knew that was coming.
and the first overall pick, obviously was the 4th overall pick, was Marvin Harrison Jr. You thought he was going to fall.
I thought he was going to fall. He skipped. He didn't work out his pro day. He didn't do anything at the draft. And anybody that ever does that, the media crushes them.
Yep, and they did.
But somehow, for some reason, he didn't get crushed.
He was
didn't
shocked.
get belittled. I'm like,
He-
wow, like you guys really didn't dog him for not coming out there and competing, which is a big deal for everybody.
He thought the media was just going to absolutely destroy him. He was waiting. Like, not like he was looking for Harrison's downfall, but he was just like, all right, this is what the media's going to do. And they didn't do
Every
it.
time.
Not
him.
But he's got big shoes to fill in the instance of, like, the last wide receiver that was really drafted. You have to go all the way back to Larry Fitzgerald. That kind of
big name.
name.
The Cardinals had
So,
was Larry Fitzgerald. But he also is filling his dad's shoes.
Yep,
That was
he's
in the NFL,
so
there's a lot of hype.
the Chargers with the 5th pick went offensive tackle Joe
You really think I can see that from over here?
Alty, I think is his name,
Yep.
from Notre Dame. He was the best offensive tackle that was at that moment. And I'm not surprised that the Chargers went this route because if you think about Jim Harbaugh, it's not a whole lot of passing. He wants to beef up that front line. It's running. He was that same way in San Francisco. He was definitely the same way at Michigan, and I'm not surprised to see him go in that direction. With the Chargers, a lot of people thought there was going to be speculation that Herbert was going to be traded. Apparently, that was completely shut down by the owner. Not saying that Harbaugh didn't want to trade him. Not saying he did or didn't, but upper management said we're not even like it's
It
enough.
was his cap hit, like the dead money they would have to take in if they would have moved him would have been astronomical.
Now the next pick that was taken was 6 overall by the Giants was Malik Neighbors, and
Wide receiver.
they got a wide receiver that you now know that's on the roster that really is a New York Giant, but. I don't think the dude was happy to be a Giant. If you watch his press conference, he said Daniel Jones' name wrong. He said Jones Daniels. And the dude just has this look like, I don't really want to be here. But they do have a wide receiver. I think he's very talented coming out of LSU. So he could have been the first wide receiver taken.
Yep.
So now this is the 7th pick. They went J.C. Lotharm. Offensive tackle, Alabama. Hopefully I said his name right. I botched it, didn't I?
I can't see that really.
Latham.
But who drafted him?
Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm not surprised they went offensive tackle here, like we said last week. They believe Will Levis is their guy. They got to protect their guy.
Mm-hmm.
So they went offensive tackle.
Good pick.
A lot of people thought they were going to go wide receiver there, and they went offensive tackle. So, I mean, it's hit or miss. They took what was best available for them.
Definitely. I mean, they have Hopkins there, so I mean, definitely have a
Yep, Hopkins stayed.
guy to throw to.
Now, we're at the pick that initially shocked everybody at number 8. The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh.
We all thought, hey, if you're all in, you went and got Kirk Cousins. 9-figure contract. You're going all in. You thought maybe they should have went defense. I said, fuck it. Get another offensive weapon because you can't have too many weapons in this league. They said, fuck that, we're going quarterback. They took Michael Penix Jr. from Washington. And initially we were shocked. Mm-hmm. But then listening to it, we understood why. They said pretty much, we know we're going to be winning games. We're not going to have a chance to get a quarterback. And we know Kirk Cousins is old. and pretty much they wanted to.
Achilles injury, I believe.
Yep, the Achilles injury, and they wanted to have their quarterback for the future. Now, there was some issues after this pick was taken. Cousins' agent came out and said that Cousins was upset because he was not notified that they were taking a quarterback. And to me, I don't think it's really that big of a deal, dude. They gave you 9 figures. You're the starting quarterback. I don't really care. Unless you get hurt, outside of that, you're the starting quarterback because there's really nothing for you to worry about. Now, I will say this. Michael Penix Jr. is talented. He obviously is going to be able to learn from one of, he's in the best situation to learn behind a quarterback in Kirk Cousins.
Well, a very formidable, very, top 15 quarterback. I mean, a lot of people, I compare him to Dak. I compare Kirk Cousins to Dak all the time.
Yeah.
Like, to me, their numbers really kind of jive. Really, to me, they're the same kind of quarterback outside of that. Dak is more mobile. That's a, long-term good pick. But, if I understand the set of Kirk Cousins is more thinking we're trying to win now. And
that's why I said offensive weapon.
A defense would have been great, too. Go get yourself a pass rusher or somebody that's secondary for them. For Penix, though, he's definitely going to get that Jordan Love treatment. I mean, we see how well that's panned out there. We saw how it panned out for, Mahomes. Sitting quarterbacks, it works.
It works. So we'll have to wait and see. Now that's a move that is going to be a couple years down the road, obviously. But
I mean, even Aaron Rodgers sat and saw how that panned out.
Yep. So and then at number 9, the Chicago Bears were back on the clock, and they went Rome from Washington, wide receiver. And, why not add another, piece to that offense that they already have? DJ Moore, Keegan Allen. They got, to all their other weapons they got, Swift. So you add Rome in there. You have 3 wide receivers. You can move all over the place, inside, out, slot. And he easily could have been, I don't know if he could have been the first wide receiver, but he's definitely up there with the other 2 guys. So not mad at it. Now, this is where we get to number 10. And the Vikings took J.J. McCarthy. And I just am not a fan of J.J. McCarthy. I didn't think he was first-round material in my eyes. I just didn't think he was. I don't see him going out and winning games. Now, mind you, he landed in the best situation because he's got the best wide receiver in the league currently, as we state, still right now on the other side on that offense with him in Justin Jefferson.
As long
as he stays. I mean, they're talking contract. I just wasn't a fan of it. Now, there was rumors came out that Sean Payton wanted J.J. McCarthy up in Denver, and he bluffed everybody into drafting him. And obviously, Harbaugh hyped him up to be this, I'll be honest, that's why we all thought that Herbert was going to get traded, and maybe the Chargers were going to draft J.J. McCarthy since Harbaugh coached him all through college. But nevertheless, he's a Viking. I just don't know if he's going to win you games with his arm. To me, I think he's a game manager, which, again, there's nothing wrong with a game manager. But if it comes down to him having to win the game with his arm, I don't necessarily know he can do that right now. Maybe down the road later, but...
Well, when's the last game manager that you've seen win a Super Bowl?
Well, I think every quarter... Well, yeah, probably Flacco.
Probably the last game manager quarterback that won it. Garoppolo is a game manager. He's tried. Brock Purdy. And game manager's not a bad thing.
No.
But you have to be able to have that,
every quarterback's a game manager in a way.
Well, yeah, Mahomes was a hellacious game manager most of this year.
Brady is.
You have to.
You have to.
Tom Brady was too.
He even would tell you he was.
You have to. It's not a knock, but you have to have that ability
to turn the switch,
to take that leap in crunch time. Make when you don't have your star players being locked up, to go elsewhere to make that clutch play. And I just don't think... Yeah, I mean, JJ was in big games, but he never had to be leaned on in Michigan. And I just don't really foresee him being that guy. And you're going to take a quarterback that high, you just expect him to be that guy.
Yeah. So, the next pick is about to get really interesting for me. The New York Jets selected offensive tackle from Penn State. Damn, that's a tough one. I'm not even going to front with you. That's a big tough one. Yeah, buddy, I tell you what.
Well, they took a tackle out of Penn State.
Yeah, and they needed to protect Aaron Rodgers, And I'm not mad at the pick.
No, they took the smart pick.
They did. They did take a smart
took
pick.
The grown-up pick, not going and getting the tight end there, but they thought they were going to take. They took the smart pick. To
I
protect
thought
their
Brock was
40-year-old
going.
quarterback.
Yeah, I thought
coming off an Achilles injury, protect him.
Well, the offensive line had issues last season, obviously. It was an issue even before Rodgers got hurt. That was something that people were talking about. And then, obviously, you saw the issues they had with Zach Wilson and everything. So, yes, getting a young guy up there on that offensive line coming out of Penn State who is a big boy and can move. Mm-hmm. He can run block, pass block. I honestly think he could play on all sides of the line. I mean, I think he played right guard, left guard, tackle.
He's definitely good at
tackle. But, so then at the 12th pick, this is where it gets interesting. The Denver Broncos selected Bo Nix from Oregon. And
that quarterback has Zach Wilson and Bo Nix.
Like, I didn't expect Bo Nix to go that high. I thought maybe he was a second or third round type.
I thought he'd be like back in first, early second.
So he went 12th overall to Denver. So Sean Payton now has Zach Wilson, who they traded for, and now he's got Bo Nix,
which is, it has to be. You have to consider that his guy.
Yeah,
because he took the quarterback. Like when a head coach takes a quarterback in the first round, he's married himself to him. So he has married himself to Bo Nix, which I do like. He no longer I liked him in college, but I'm not a Bo Nix fan no more. Like, get fucked, bro. Like, I don't like you no more.
It's tough. Fail. Like, Bo Nix is obviously pro ready. He's been in college for a while now, obviously. A lot of games underneath of his belt. In a lot of ways is kind of comparable to Justin Herbert, but, I just didn't think he was 12th overall pick type.
Honestly, out of all the quarterbacks taken, he has, I believe, the most games played. And
yes.
He potentially could be the most pro-ready with all the games he has played, all the schemes he's been in, defenses he's seen in college. Obviously, his college there's a difference in speed and game, but could be the best.
Sean Payton said that he saw a lot of Drew Brees in Bo Nix, and that's why he really liked him. So we'll have to see how that turns out for Bo Nix. Now, I truly believe Bo Nix will be the starting quarterback. I just don't think it's going to be Zach Wilson. I don't see how. Like you said, this is the guy that Sean Payton wanted. He hand-selected him.
But sitting the quarterback works. He also traded for Zach Wilson. So he obviously likes Zach Wilson as well.
So, and then at the 13th pick, the Raiders selected Brock Bowers. Another guy that I liked.
Never stop surprising me on the dumb picks they take. Not knocking the player, just kind of knocking the pick. You don't have a quarterback.
Yep, they don't have a quarterback.
Took a tight end last year.
So
you doubled up on tight ends. I mean, I don't know who's going to be throwing them.
They have AJ, I think it's AJ McConnell, and then Gardner Minshew is their quarterback.
And then there's no knock on Minshew, who's probably going to be in the starter.
Yeah.
Like, he's very... It's actually
to me, he's like a pro's pro.
Well, Minshew, actually, it's funny. If you would put up his stats and Trevor Lawrence's stats and took the pictures away, they're exactly the same.
So, again, like, I'm just... The reason I'm shocked about this pick is I didn't expect Brock to fall that far. I thought maybe Chicago was going to take him at 9, and when Chicago took Rome, I'm like... I thought the Jets were going to take him, just another weapon for Aaron Rodgers.
That's not that far, though.
No, it's not. Okay. I just hate the fact that he went to the fucking Raiders, dude.
Yeah.
Like, fuck!
It's kind of like Kyle Pitts a couple years ago going to the Falcons. Like,
yeah.
No one threw him the ball. But, I mean, he's definitely kind of the talent, hype that, Kyle Pitts had coming out.
He did. I mean, he's been compared to, like, the Kelseys and stuff like that. To me, he reminds me a lot of, like, Antonio Gates, just not as big. He's got great...
Like Jimmy Graham, almost.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham's a good comparison.
Or Jeremy Shockey.
Ooh, I like the Shockey comparison. Like, just very athletic, fast, great hands, so...
Not because of his skin tone, guys. It's just more how they play.
But, honestly, it's... Unfortunately, for him, it's going to be like, how are you going to get the ball? Like you said, the quarterback situation is going to be not knocking Gardner because he can... Sling that Gardner Minshew. He could sling that thing, but yeah, that was picks 1 through 13. For the most part, there really wasn't many surprises. But switching over, our Kansas City Chiefs, our team, back-to-back Super Bowl champions. we drafted, we traded up with the Buffalo Bills.
Appreciate it, Buffalo.
We appreciate you because, every time you trade with us, it always comes out good. Last time we traded with you, we got Patrick Mahomes, so we appreciate you. We took Xavier Worthy.
Yes.
He broke the 40-yard dash.
4-2-1.
And boy, fast. But he's not just speed. He's got some good route running. We're going to find today. He literally was drafted. Next day was already down in Texas working with Patrick.
Which is great.
Which what I love. Also, Travis Kelce re-signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. He is now the highest paid tight end in the National Football League. Well deserved. And he's tied to us until 20...
No. He didn't get extra years. His contract still ends at 2025.
Oh, it's still 2025?
Still ends at 2025. That's where the report got messed up.
Ah.
They didn't get an extension. They just gave him a pay raise.
A pay raise? Okay, well, he's still with us until 2025, but regardless.
Then.
It's 2 more years.
I think he'd be like 35.
I think he's 32, isn't he? Not 31, 32.
He'd be like 32, 33. So
yeah.
He'd be about 35.
But it was well deserved. He deserved the money.
Definitely. I mean, you got to try to make money. Taylor Swift out here fucking worth billions.
Yeah. So
that house he bought ain't cheap. Like
no, wait. Taylor buying it. It's Taylor's house.
Yeah, like 50-50.
But when you're looking at everything we've done, we signed the rugby player. I don't know his name off the top of our head. Mm-hmm. We signed another wide receiver at a JMU, who is really fast, really good. So we have a lot of talent at the wide receiver position. I think Kelsey's going to have a big year, better than last year. Obviously, last year was a struggle.
So many weapons.
So
Hollywood Brown that we signed. Then you obviously have Rashee Rice, and you have Pacheco coming out of the backfield. We brought Clyde back on a
1 year
deal
yep.
with Worthy. Even if Worthy just
Tooney.
In the Kadarius Tooney.
We did decline his 5th-year option, which does not mean he's not going to be on the roster. It just makes sense for money reasons.
Well, he is going to be making about $15 million next year.
We still holding hope for him. We are still holding out. Like, I'm telling you, Tooney, a lot of Chiefs fans may not have hope for you. We right here, we still have hope for you, my guy. Don't fuck this up.
Yes.
You have so much talent.
Second full year.
And he'll be full. There's no reason not to be healthy.
And we have one of the best medical staffs, nutrition staffs in the league.
Yep.
He get his body fully right. Because, again, he was coming off injury. Mm-hmm. Then he had injured his knee, coming off injury there. And I just think they try to maybe kind of rush him a little bit, and then that drops, and just kind of piled on.
Well, obviously, we had the Kansas City.
Super Bowl, he kind of came out, put his foot in his mouth, and he's just an uber talented guy. When he touches the ball,
he's dynamite.
He's
TNT.
You take it to the house, especially with the new kickoff rules.
Oh man, I'm excited for the new kickoff rules.
With Worthy and the running back guy, anything could be possible. But even if Worthy doesn't have a big rookie year, just tell that dude to run deep.
Yeah,
is going to empty the box for Pacheco.
I mean, there's
it's going to be an empty box. You're not going to be able to load the box. You're not going to be able to double Kelsey. Hollywood is a 4.27 guy. Rashee Rice is 190 miles per hour
Scott, hopefully, we've lost a lot of hope in Sky, but if he's worked on his stuff, another
depth
guy.
You need depth at wide receiver.
So, like I said, it's going to be an interesting year for Kansas City. I'm excited. Now, speaking of Rashee Rice, it's looking like we're going to be without him for half the season. So, when I hear half the season, we play 17 games. My mind goes anywhere between 6 and 8. You're saying
I say
6. I'm saying anywhere between 7 and 8. But it's going to be around there, which is fine. Well, we have plenty of depth. And when he comes back, it's just...
Well, it's not like he's not going to be able to be at mini camp, training camp,
yeah.
OTA. So
he's been at everything.
And he's, like you said about, Worthy down in Texas. That's kind of where Rice got in trouble, was in Dallas, Texas. But he's back and he's working out with Mahomes and the boys as well. So, that's all good on the receiving court, and Rice started getting that connection.
And I have to tell this to the people. Everyone out there that was dogging on the Kansas City organization, how can you, whatever, with Rice, blah, blah, blah. Look, if you thought Reed and Mahomes was going to belittle Rice out in public, on the media, no. They did that behind closed doors. They had those hard conversations that he probably shed some tears, and then they built him back up. That's what you're supposed to do. He's 21? He's young. You're not defined, like we said, you're not defined by one mistake. He made a mistake, and he owned up to it. He didn't lie. He told the truth to the organization. That goes a long way. Kareem Hunt. But he told the truth, And so that's why he's still a part of the Kansas City Chiefs organization. Now, if he would have lied about it, he wouldn't have been on it. Trust me. They kicked Kareem Hunt off the team for kicking a girl in the sternum. So, like, come on now. Like, look at how everything went last year. Patrick Mahomes easily could have belittled every goddamn wide receiver, even Travis Kelce after they go, and he didn't. He kept building them up. He put it on his shoulders, and when he needed those guys to show up the most in the Super Bowl, they showed up because he didn't belittle them. So that's what I got to say on that. He's going to be back. He's going to learn from it. He's going to be better. He's in the perfect organization with the right leaders around him to get him back on the right track and build back up with the community. So that's what I got to say on that.
I think he's just going to be opened up with open arms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody feels it well. Nobody, I mean, there were some injuries, but nobody died. He's a kid with millions of dollars. You make mistakes. He probably needs to figure out his friend group.
Yeah, that's always the hardest part when you're.
That's what everybody's. That's what
it's always the hardest part.
Says that when you start getting all this money, all these people start coming out of the woodwork, and it's hard.
hard.
So, like you said, you have to have the leaders around you to be like, hey, probably need to look at changing this. Like you got to do better.
So the three-peat.
I think we drafted very well. I think we've signed great.
Yep.
And I think we drafted our left tackle.
Yep.
In the second round.
Yes, we did.
And everybody thought we were taking him in the first round, and he was graded first round talent, and so we got a great, overall grade or steal in the second round by hitting our tackle there.
Yes, we did. I was trying to see. Where did we take you? There he is, right there. Kingsley, offensive tackle, BYU.
So.
And we traded with San Francisco to get him.
Yeah, we moved around.
In the second round to get him. So I absolutely love him. He's definitely going to be left tackle. Left tackle.
Jonathan Taylor's staying at the right spot
where he needs to stay.
As long as he stops false starting.
Stay over there.
Let me just think. You have the rookie there. You got
and we have some depth.
Smith.
We have some depth. We even signed another center.
We drafted another center.
Yeah, we drafted. So we have depth.
Everybody got upset about that pick, but Creed Humphrey. Yeah, but we lost depth in free agency.
And that dude that we got to, he played very versatile. He can play anywhere.
Line, which is what you need in the NFL. Like
look,
Algier, who played left guard in the Super Bowl because Thuney got hurt, tore his pec. He literally was the Swift Army draft. They could play every position, tackles, guards, and center. And that's what we just drafted there. Hopefully,
I'll tell you this. I believe in my Chiefs. I always believe in them. I believe there is an 85% chance that we three-peat. Like, I just look around the league. A lot of teams that have kind of been threats to us are kind of,
Well, I think we're going to take our division.
I
think one of the divisions is going to be overly hard. They're going to be obviously dogfights because it's the division. But I don't see us losing our division this year, so that will be 8 in a row, I do believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Row.
Yes.
And just be all a matter if we could lock in home field advantage would be big. I'm trying to get that three-peat, but I think everybody's very hungry for that three-peat.
Yep.
I'm hungry for that three-peat.
Yeah, absolutely. The guys are. Patrick Mahomes been on some podcasts, and he's not shying away from it. He's talked about it. I mean, it's what everybody wants to hear. He's been open talking about it, and he obviously knows it's going to be a tough road. But that's on his mind. It's something that's going to happen, And it's regard people are like, it's going to be hard to three-peat. It's been hard to two-peat. Like, we've been getting everybody's best shot for the last 2 years. In the last 2 years, we were told that we weren't even going to.
The last 2 years, that's the only time.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, the last 2 years we weren't even supposed to make the playoffs after we lost Tyreek Hill.
Talk. Keep receipts.
We've kept a lot of receipts. So I mean, last year, hell, nobody in their right mind thought. Every game of the playoffs, Chiefs gonna lose that one. Nope, Chiefs end up winning that game. We know how to show up in big moments. We understand.
Our offense has now caught up with their defense, and they're giving. You lost. Snead. We didn't lose Snead. We also did draft. Some more talent there, but we also have. Talent already on the roster.
Well, the Chiefs felt good enough to let Snead go because they felt like they had a guy. I can't remember his name off the top of my tongue that they feel like is ready to be. Is it McDuffie?
McDuffie.
I thought there was another guy that was hurt, foot injury.
Oh yeah, there is a guy that was.
And they believe that he could step in and take the realms. They truly believe in him. So, like I said, I'm excited for the football season. Now, real quick, before we move off the National Football League, we have to talk about something that has been on the horizon. Roger Goodell wants to get rid of the preseason, and he wants an 18-game season.
He does. Just more money. That's all it is.
How do you feel about it? Like, do you like it? Dislike?
I don't really care for the preseason. Personally, I don't really watch it. I watch like the first ones, kind of, just because that's when you really get to see like the depth players and what maybe could be. But outside of that one, no, I don't really care for the preseason. But I think the preseason is a need. Like when you watch, ever since they did away with one, you see kind of how sloppy the first couple weeks of the season is, or how great defenses look, and then we get. Week 4 or 5, then offense start clicking and things start changing, and players I think kind of are more prone to get hurt, not muscle injuries and ligaments because they don't have that warm up because they don't really play.
Preseason's important not also just for your starters, but also for the guys that are trying to showcase their talent in some ways because you can showcase it in practice and stuff like that, but it's not.
Some people aren't practice guys. Some people are like game guys. Some guys, I play better in games than I did in practice.
Yeah.
Like put me in the game and like you're gonna see something, but in practice, like dude, like I don't know what to tell you. Like, but pressure moments in game, that's when people, you're gonna make a break because you can look great in practice, but shitty in the game, but good in practice. But you're shitty in practice, but good in the game. I think I can work
to
with
me,
in practice.
I'll tell you this: the reason why I'm not for the 18-game season, we already have people bitching about the 7-game season when it comes to records. You put in an 18-game season, just take the records away. There's no more records.
You might as well just hand those records here and then start a whole new, because it's going to be already 1 game, make it 2 games.
So, I'll tell you this: I'm not a fan of an 18-game regular season, just for the fact that I do think preseason's important. I think it's important, not for us fans, but for the players. It's important.
Well,
like I said in my TikTok,
for the product.
Like I said on my TikTok when I did it on TikTok, 95% of us do not give a shit about the preseason. We don't. Like, no, I don't really tune in. Rarely, it's like, oh, cool preseason, cool. Then there's 5% of us that may care, but really, it's the guys, the players that care about the preseason. So I think preseason is important. I'm against it.
I just think the preseason makes a better product for the regular season.
But yeah, so right now, currently we are in the NBA playoffs. Right now, we're almost finishing up with round 1, but we're gonna start with the teams that were eliminated. So the New Orleans Pelicans were eliminated by the OKC Thunder. They got swept 4-0.
Sweep.
There was no Zion.
Nope.
He got hurt in the play-in games, hamstring. Unfortunate. We have still yet to see Zion play in the playoffs. He's been hurt. What is next for the New Orleans Pelicans? And before I let you answer, remind you, Brandon Ingram stunk it up pretty much in the playoffs. Now, granted, he was coming off being injured as well. What's next for these Pelicans? They have so many young guys, but it seems like the guys that we're really looking forward to seeing just seem to get hurt. Especially Zion.
Well, I think,
what's next?
Brandon Ingram is not a known injury-prone player. I think Brandon Ingram, to me, he's a different off-brand version of like KD. It's not like Ingram's game. Unfortunately, he did stink it up. But again, he was coming off an injury, and it's hard when you get out of basketball shape to get back into shape. Just ask Joel. It's hard when you can't practice, you can't go full contact, you don't have those games to ramp up for.
They made the trade for CJ a couple seasons ago.
CJ McCollum was honestly the biggest disgrace. I think that's the move they have to make is moving off of him and getting a different point guard in. But I think the biggest thing is Zion's health and keeping the weight off, maybe losing some more weight and keeping him healthy because he's really the motor that turns it all.
Yeah.
And it's.
Really, he showcased that in the playing against the Lakers. He was TM.
If he didn't get hurt, the Lakers probably lose.
Yeah,
because he was a force. Like no one was stopping him, and it's just unfortunate. And what I was talking to you about earlier, and you told me to shut the fuck up.
I did.
Was that the Pelicans are starting to give me some not compare the players or the rosters, but just starting to give me some flashbacks of what the Trailblazers were.
And if you guys don't know, he's talking about Brandon Roy, knee injuries. LaMarcus Aldridge was really kind of the guy that was always available, kind of like Brandon Ingram, always available. And then Greg Oden, which is basically Zion. He just can't stay healthy.
When they're together, they're
now, like he said, we're not comparing them.
I'm not putting apples to apples,
but
they were never able to reach their potential as a group. And
I mean, think about how good the Pelicans have been when Zion's healthy, and then he's gotten hurt, and they've plummeted hard.
Well, not necessarily
Not like, but
hard, but like they definitely went from being an A-tier team to like a C-plus team, which I guess that is a decent drop, but like still a solid, capable playoff team.
Like I said, they need to probably move off, like you said, like a player or two.
Kind of
they have the right coach. They got to keep Zion healthy, and the Pelicans should be.
Keep Zion motivated and wanting to stay in New Orleans. And I mean, they could maybe move off of Brandon Ingram. There's talks of that.
Would you consider a move off of Zion Williams? Is it time to maybe in your back of your mind, in their back of their minds, that maybe we move off Zion?
Maybe Zion just might be buying in now to the Pelicans.
Okay.
They've stuck it out this far. You might as well keep sticking it out unless somebody comes with, offering you a franchise.
Okay, fair enough.
If they offer you a franchise, if they offer you Victor Wembanyama, then yeah, you'd have Zion.
Okay.
But if you're not offering me someone like Victor Wembanyama, then you kick rocks.
Fair enough.
No,
all
not
right.
yet. Even though it would be selling potentially high on his
yes.
stock.
So the next team we talk about, I know you're going to enjoy this one. The Phoenix Suns, Big Three, was swept by the T-Wolves.
Yeah.
Now, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker.
Yeah.
They were swept 4-0.
Bill's ass.
KD was efficient.
KD thing. He's like, if you're expecting him to be a lockdown defender at this point in his career,
he's never been a lockdown defender. He's always been a great.
He's just long.
He's always been a great help defender. People keep
7 foot.
People when they think about his defense, they go back to his Golden State time. I think people forget it wasn't necessarily him locking people down. He was just able that the team defensively as a whole. He was just able to come over and make the secondary move on defensively.
He's first team defense as a secondary defender.
Yeah, so
he's just long.
But again, what is next for Phoenix or the Phoenix Suns, because they don't have any picks until
no draft until 2030.
32, something like that.
They have
no first. They have no seconds.
They have no cap space. Now, don't get me wrong. They're in a weird space. They have 3 stars.
Well, I'd say 2.5.
Well, you see, Bradley Beal to me,
talking shit. Come on.
I told you, I don't know if I really like this. I really don't like if I like them getting Bradley Beal, because just because you look like a star on a very bad Wizards team, getting all these shots put up. Yes, you put up all these numbers because you have the ball. You're, point guard / shooting guard. Like, you're going to get your looks, you're going to get your touches.
Yep.
And so I was concerned about him going and having.
Granted, it did help that he was hurt a lot this season.
But he was hurt.
Which is not new because he was always hurt.
He was always kind of injured with the Wizards. But you thought you'd be able to play better with more talent around you. Like, if you were doing that with no talent around you, I mean, Kyle Kuzma, Westbrook, yes, but with no talent around you, but now with talent,
somebody had to sacrifice.
Better.
Yeah.
He sacrificed, should have been him. But at any given day, either one of them could have, all 3 of them could have.
My biggest problem with Bradley Beal is it's necessarily not him. It's just I don't think he really bought into sacrificing his part. When you put 3 guys like that together, somebody has to sacrifice. Now, Kevin Durant's going to be Kevin Durant. I'm not telling Kevin Durant to sacrifice anything. Kevin Durant had his most efficient season he's had in a long, long, long time. He was the most consistent in the series. Booker, up and down. Beal, up and down. Literally, right before they got swept, Bradley Beal was like, I ain't never been swept in my life. And it's not about to start now. And they came out and laid an 8. Fucking 16, I think he was. Ass. Bro, come on. But I also think it was the system, too.
Well, out of all 3 of them, KD's the only one that can go get a bucket or go get a good shot because he's so tall, so lengthy.
Get anywhere on the court he wants.
He has he can post. He can post you, not back you down, but he has a post game. Hit that midi. He hit the 3, while the rest of them he can get to the bucket. And the rest of them, they're not 7 feet tall.
The problem was, honestly, in my opinion, is Booker and Beal try to be a point guard, and they're not a point guard.
I think Booker's better off ball. Booker, when he was ascending, had Chris Paul. Well, he wasn't necessarily when he was ascending, but when he was hitting the map, he wasn't really.
He had his best season when he had Chris Paul.
When he had Chris Paul, he was really kind of putting himself in that echelon. That Kobe talk, that Mamba mentality type of ordeal. He was there.
So, to wrap it up, what is next for the Phoenix Suns? What can they do?
I think they got to move off the head coach. I think you have to go and get a I don't know, a offensive-minded coach that is well respected. I don't know who. No idea, but it has to be somebody better than a defensive-minded coach.
And they better roster, build around roster, better.
With what money? They're just going to be veteran minimum guys.
Well, there has to be, and one of those guys got to come off the bench.
They gave Grayson Allen a deal.
They did.
They did
so my thing is, does Bradley Beal need to really sacrifice most, come off the bench, and let a point guard like a veteran point guard play point guard?
They all three could be out there at the same time. I mean, you put KD at the 4. You go 3-2 point guard. But
Okay.
When it comes to, a player outside of a coach, they got to get a big boy.
Okay.
Go get a big boy.
Fair enough.
A Steven Adams.
Oh.
Go get yourself a big boy. I mean, I don't know if
they got to get something a little bit more defensively down low.
Go get yourself a bruiser.
So
you're not going to need him to score. You have plenty of
score. Yeah, they do.
Power to score. You just need to hold the paint and get rebounds.
So the next team that was eliminated in the playoffs was the Los Angeles Lakers. They lost to the Denver Nuggets in 5. Mm-hmm. Before we decided to record, Darvin Ham was reported fired. So now they're looking for their next head coach. But what's next for the Los Angeles Lakers? LeBron's 39, will be 40 next year.
I believe he's opted out.
He's opted out of his contract, so basically now he's a free agent.
He's going to, if he has not yet.
So AD played the most games that he's played in years. They won 47 games. They had been to the Western Conference the previous year, were swept by Denver, and obviously had Denver in the first round of the year at a 7th seed and lost in 5. So they finally got a game on Denver. But in your mind, what's next for these Los Angeles Lakers? They have 3 first-round picks they can go with.
Well, I mean, they're getting their from the AD trade, and
I mean, you just draft Bronny James and everything's all good, right?
Go get LeBron's son. Fuck it. That's the only way you can keep fucking LeBron.
I had to do it to him. But no, in all seriousness, what's next for the Lakers?
I mean, definitely a better coach. I felt like during that series, at moments that he got that big key moments, he got out coached. Whether the momentum was turning, or you could see there was a point in the game like you and I are both like, bang a timeout. Why are you not calling a timeout? LeBron's literally crawling up the court, sipping air like dude's gas, and he's just letting it go. I'm like, bang a timeout. Why is LeBron and Austin Reeves both off the court at the same time? They're both your playmakers. They're the only ones who you get D'Lo, but you have those are your 2 playmakers, your 2 ball handlers that can create offense. To move from there, gotta bring LeBron back.
AD?
Why would you?
I'm throwing scenarios out to you. I'm throwing scenarios out. I don't know.
If LeBron leaves, I mean, maybe, I guess, if you want to completely restart and not be able to compete at all in the playoffs. But I say this. If LeBron leaves, you already have 3 first-round picks. You trade AD and get more draft capital to try to rebuild the team. Because how well has that worked out for them?
Well, I'm just saying.
It hasn't worked out so well. I mean, that the players they've drafted eventually have developed elsewhere and have looked well. And I think they need to go if LeBron comes back, I think they need to try to go and get, not necessarily a 3rd star, but if they do, I wouldn't mind Zach LaVine. He's been trying to get himself to LA.
For 3.
Wouldn't really mind that. But I think they kind of need, not Chris Paul. I don't want Chris Paul. I wouldn't mind him being on the team just to be with his best friend, Bron, but they need, I think, somebody to orchestrate the offense and to play make.
That's not always LeBron.
That's not always LeBron, and somebody that's better than Reeves, or Reeves can come off the bench.
Yeah. So.
And some shooting.
And it's not like the Lakers were bad. Like I said, they won 47 games. They were.
Every game in the series they had humongous leads and just kind of lost it. I'm like, you can't lose that big enough. You lose that big of a lead. To me, that's coaching.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong.
Well, AD made some comments during the series that there's times out there we don't know what we're doing, and I felt like that was a big jab at Darvin Ham. I just felt like it was. And now with him fired, that's a moment you're going to go back into and look at.
In game 1, Ham really came out in the press conference and said, well, we had more to throw at Joker, but we just didn't do it yet. Why?
Yeah, pretty much.
You were right there to win game 1. You should have won game 1. You throw the kitchen sink.
Should have won game 2.
Well, you should have won. There's 2 games that Jamal Murray called.
But shout out to Jamal Murray, though, real quick, though. The dude ups his scoring in the playoffs.
Well, to me, is obviously he's not on the Lakers, obviously, but Jamal Murray is going to be one of those guys that are forgotten years down the road, 10 years down the road when he's done.
Just because he doesn't have the accolades in the regular
he won't
season,
have the accolades,
the All-Stars and
his-
shit like
His
that.
stats aren't outstanding, but he has the highest point increase in the
In the
playoffs
post.
of almost 8. And the dude is clutch in
But-
prime time, and he's just going to be somebody that's going to be, unfortunately,
But the Lakers definitely is going to be something to really pay attention to this offseason. Especially, I think it's a lot's going to matter on the next head coach for Braun. And I think LeBron's also doing this to put pressure on the Lakers. Like,
Well,
look, I still want to
absolutely.
win. Like you said, in my mind, he's still chasing the ghost of Michael Jordan. He is.
Yeah.
He's still chasing. His mind, he's like, I still got to get there. And he can
Still
still
gotta get
play this
serious.
game at a high level. But like you said, at a certain point in time, he's going to have to look himself in the mirror and say, it's time to go be with the family. And we understand that.
Because
Like,
you said, like, I would never not be good enough to be in the league. Like,
Yeah.
I always will be good / great. But to him, I think it is the challenge. Would a challenge be staying and trying to win one? Would be depending on the coach, like
Yeah.
what happens there. Would be maybe going and then playing with Golden State.
Yeah.
Maybe Cleveland. Another stint in Miami.
Yeah.
I don't.
We'll have to wait and
maybe
see.
the 76ers. Like, would a different challenge be better?
or New York.
No.
You could play that Julius Randle role. But
No.
speaking of the 76ers, they lost
Yep.
to the New York Knicks in
Yep.
6 games. That was... Before we even get to... there was a dude on the 76ers, Phil Reed, I think is his name, said, I'm glad we got the Knicks because they were the easier matchup.
They were. No, they were. Healthy Joel? They were. They literally 2 games. First 2 games. Brunson, ass. And then Brunson just kind of found his
Well, like
shot.
I was talking to
From
Brandon
there.
here, what the hell did Nick Nurse do after games 1 and 2? What did he do games 3 and go forward? Jalen Brunson, like I know you said shooter shoot and he's a star, but he was ass for the first 2 games. You were in him, and then every game after that, 40. He was getting mid-40s.
Well, you do
Dude,
realize
go nuts!
he averaged 30. He was the first person.
Like,
scored.
oh,
He was the first player to score
dude.
and average 30 plus in 5 straight games
You know,
in the playoffs.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll tell you this.
What?
The 76ers, you're dumb for choosing Tobias over Jimmy.
Well, so
Like, Tobias was out there getting cardio in Game 6. 29 minutes, not a single point.
obviously the Knicks won, and the 76ers, to me, should have won that series. The Knicks move on. What do you got the 76ers doing now in the offseason?
So,
what do they got?
Look, this
Obviously, Joel has to stay healthy.
yes, but I'm telling you this
Figure
right
that
now.
out. Maxey,
Joel
you signed
Embiid
him.
is not the face of the franchise anymore. It's Tyrese
That's
Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is the face of... You build around Tyrese Maxey. Joel Embiid has showed you, consistent throughout his career, he's not durable and he's not reliable.
Okay, what are they going to do?
So, to me, I think they need a complementary star. And I think if he's available and he's out there, someone like a Paul George. Maybe you try to steal Jimmy Butler away from Miami.
That would make that would make
Now-
Joel happy.
It would.
But you just said don't build around Joel.
No, you don't build
That'd
around
be
Joel.
really around Joel.
That's Maxey because Maxey and Jimmy Butler can play off each other. Joel Embiid is
How is the move for Jimmy not for Joel? What does Jimmy really bring besides defense? I mean, let's
playoff Jimmy.
Where was that this year?
Well, we're not there yet.
What do you mean? You just
Kelly Oubre Jr. took him out. Kelly Oubre stood underneath there, took out his leg.
Well, he said, "Watch out! I'm gonna find you a broke out."
But I just think the Sixers need another complimentary star.
I
I think they
like
need to
Paul
beef
George.
up the bench a little bit. And you got to look. The new rules in place, you have to play 65 games minimum. Joel Embiid, I hate to break to you, you're not winning no more awards because you have to minimize his games to keep him healthy for the playoff. If you're the 76ers, that is your main.
Why? Why? He could easily play 65 games. Kawhi did it.
Then look what Kawhi did. He quit.
All right. Well, Kawhi did it.
Wow, first time in a decade.
Well, Kawhi did it. I think they could.
I just think managing him is very important. Build around Maxey, more shooters. Maxey's also got to improve on his three ball a
They had
bit.
Buddy Hield.
But he didn't look good, and I think giving him a full off season with this team if they keep him, which I think they will because I believe he's still under contract. That would be great. He just never looked good. I never thought he
looked
felt
good in the regular season.
So he had one good game where he had like 20 points in the series. So
He had the highest three-ball percentage in the league.
So he did, but I just take a full off season. But to me, to fix them, they need another complimentary star like a Paul George, something like that.
Well, Paul George will be a free agent.
He will.
So that will cost them no draft capital, and they have draft capital to spend, and they have, I think it's a little over $60 million this.
So
because Tobias Harris' contract is finally off the
yeah,
books.
you're not bringing back Tobias Harris.
You are on the same page of Jimmy Butler
or
Paul George, even though Jimmy they would have
and
to
beef
trade
up
for
the bench a little bit. Get a little bit more on the bench. Keep Kelly Oubre Jr. He was solid for you guys defensively. I like what he brought. As long as he stops getting into car accidents and ran over.
I think again, you just like. The Sixers to me are a prime example of just some 3-and-D guys that can lock
yes
out and get boards. Josh Hart, good God, and can hit threes.
Yeah. So that to me, they have the coach, they have their cornerstone players, obviously in Maxey and Embiid. It's just maintaining Embiid, keeping him healthy, also keeping some weight off him. I think to me, Embiid needs to drop just a little bit of weight. I'm saying like not lose your muscle, just a little bit of weight. Because it's his knees. You got to take a little bit off your knees and build up, get a little bit stronger.
Well, I think taking the load off of him, not even his weight, but bringing in a Paul George who has proven more times than not that he can stay healthy.
I think
you take the workload off of him throughout the season.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't see him being
And another thing, another thing I think Embiid needs to do to make the 76ers better, stop shooting these goddamn threes. You are over 7 feet tall, 270 plus pounds. I don't mind you going out there and shooting jump shots, but don't become a jump shooter. There's nobody that can stop you. There's really not. When you're
fucking tired because you're out of shape because you can't run because your knee was
yes,
up.
But I think he needs to hone in on his craft a little bit more. I'm not saying you can't shoot. I just say hone in on your craft a little bit more. Bringing, like you said, like we agree on, some 3-and-D guys. Go get a complimentary start, and I think they'll be fine and keep Embiid healthy.
I think the Clippers paid Kawhi. Not a max deal, and that's what they came in. They didn't offer. They offered a contract to Paul George, but they did not offer him a max deal.
No,
I'm pretty sure he wants to be in LA, but if he wants a max contract, and the 76ers come to him with a max deal.
Yeah, I think he'll take it.
It's going to be hard to turn down.
Yeah. So the next team that lost this was a tough one. This was a tough series. So the Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Indiana Pacers in 6. There was no Giannis. Dame missed a game. Now, granted, the game that Dame missed, obviously, Milwaukee won. But
he missed 2.
Oh, he missed 2?
He missed 2.
Sorry. Dame missed 2. There was no Giannis in this series.
Short and sweet. Run it back.
You think run it back?
You got to run it back. You got to run it back. They changed head coaches halfway through the season.
Doc stay?
I don't like Doc, but he has to stay. You've changed coaches like fucking 50 million times already.
I'll tell you this, if they move off Doc, that'll be 3 head coaches they've gone through in like 2 years.
Not even 2 years. A year. Like, goddamn, they went through. Fucking hired a coach, fired him halfway through.
Adrian Griffin was 30-13 when he got fired, and then they went 17-19 with Doc after that.
All he did was ask him to play harder on defense.
So
I don't know. But you got to run back to stars. They have no draft capital. They can't really move. They're cap struck.
They're an old roster.
The Clippers are the oldest roster.
Well, I think for them, if you can, try to move around the bench a little bit outside of that.
Did you move off of Chris Middleton?
So, I'm glad you brought that up. So, I'm on TikTok a lot. And I said, I think maybe the Milwaukee Bucks maybe need to consider moving off Chris Middleton. He's also been injured a lot, but he's still a talented player. You might be able to get something for him. That might be your only piece to really move. Because you're not moving off Dame.
No,
you're not moving off Giannis.
What if Giannis wants out?
I'll tell you.
Giannis wants to go to Miami. What if Giannis wants to go to Miami?
If Giannis wants out, then you just blow the whole roster up. It's all gone.
You don't try to build around Dame and
Chris Middleton. You could try, but I don't know if Milwaukee would be willing to do that.
The packaging that you'd get. You could just blow it all up, but you've seen how long it's been since they've been relevant.
Ever since they won the championship in 21, it's been second round exit, first round exit, first round exit. But they've also been unhealthy, not healthy, so that's a big issue. But
to me, you got to run it back unless you can get a deal for
Middleton
that helps round out your roster.
Yeah.
Because as you see with the Suns, just because you have 3 great stars, the stars don't mesh or you don't have the role players, it just
Doesn't work.
But the Pacers dropped 50 points off their bench. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
they had no bench. It was like what, 50 to like 1 at one point or something.
Like,
It
if you
was
have
bad.
no bench points, then you're fucked. Like your bench has to
Pretty
produce
much.
something.
And then the final team that was eliminated that we need to talk about was the Miami Heat. They were eliminated by Boston in 5, and there was no Jimmy Butler and no Terry Rozier for the whole series. Jimmy had the knee injury, and Terry had the neck injury. And Terry was somebody they acquired midseason that was looking good, was happy, and then got hurt. To me, I just said it's plain so. Boston got lucky that Jimmy wasn't there, because I think if Jimmy's there, we might be having a different conversation because Boston likes
maybe it goes 6-7, but like Boston should have won. Boston should have won in 4. They got it done in 5. The Heat run it back. Maybe.
So,
maybe
real
lose
quick,
that
hold
game.
up. Before you get going, it was reported that Jimmy Butler wants a 2-year, $113 million contract extension.
So that make it a 4 year. Make it a total of 4 years. He'd be locked in to Miami. I know. Like he's.
I feel you. I'm that no on that too. That's a lot of money.
Get playoff Jimmy year around, yes, but like playoff Jimmy only shows up
In the
and
play.
he's really, I mean, you have Bam and Jimmy, Tyler Hero, but I mean,
But there's
I don't
heard
know
that
if
there's
you really-
friction between Jimmy and Tyler.
Yeah, no. I mean, Jimmy's an asshole. I mean, he's going to get on you. He's going to push you. I don't think Jimmy Butler is going to age well throughout that contract.
Fair.
So if if 76ers come with a package for him, I'm the Heat. Take it. The Heat draft well.
Yeah, no.
Open up that cap space. Bring Braun in with them. Go get Braun. Fuck it.
Yeah,
But it really means kind of bring it back. Keep developing. They drafted that rookie. He's developing well. I mean,
oh yeah,
Bam's up for Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, it's a talented. I don't really know how, but it's a talented roster. Young, up and coming roster with
Just
a great head coach,
yeah.
with a great GM.
Yep.
Great organization, great fan base. I mean, it just
this need to pick and plug players, and if they
Here
can
and
try to
there.
get Jimmy cheaper, or they'll have to figure that out.
If
Bring
Jimmy
somebody
wants
in.
an extension, and it's either send me or move me. I would move him.
Just hypothetical. What about? Do you like a Paul George to Miami to team up with what they got down there, and Bam, Jimmy, the young guys they got, or do you think adding a Paul George hinders the growth, or do you not think that's a good fit?
I think a Paul George would fit well down there with him. He's
Like, what if, like, say for example, just spitball, because this is what it really is, just talking. What if they go get like a Paul George, and then like LeBron comes, and then you have all that? I mean,
what the fuck you getting this money for?
I don't know. Miami good at figuring out this money like they did back
I mean, unless LeBron's taking a fucking veteran minimum.
Why not? He makes more money outside the league.
Good
Why do you need
God.
the NBA money?
No, I mean, like if you move off of Jimmy, and it gets then you have money for Paul George, and then bring in LeBron. Sure, cool, like super team that shit up again with Bam. Tyler Hero probably would have to be moved as well to create more cap space.
But overall, I mean, obviously that was hypothetical. But Miami is really just plug and play, try to see what happens.
Miami's just kind of one of those up and coming rosters that are still getting, better. Jimmy, based on obviously around Jimmy, and they got Tyler Rozier. It's just unfortunate that we weren't able to see them at full. Full force. To me, it's just kind of.
I just think Boston got lucky.
Retool
Boston got
and
lucky.
keep developing.
But we do have 2 games tonight.
We do.
The first game up is Cavs and Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Cavs lead 3-2. Thoughts on that? Is that a 7-game series, or are you hoping the Cavs just kind of wrap that game up?
Cavs just go ahead and finish it.
As you can tell, my man's ready for round 2 of the playoffs.
I'm kind of over like the Cavs and Magic series. It's a good series. It's a hard fought series. I mean, it goes back and forth, but I'm ready for it to move on. The star power for me is just not there for those teams. Don't get me wrong, they have stars. They're up and coming on. They have Mitchell on the Cavs and Pablo on the Magic, and they're up and coming. But I'm ready for that to lock.
And then the
down.
final game tonight that we have is Clippers and Mavs. Dallas is up 3-2. I really don't want to see a 7 games. I just want to see Dallas get this over with.
Dallas to go ahead and send them to Cancun in 6.
But overall, like let's talk about the Cavs and Magic. Obviously, it's been a tough series to watch. A lot of people are not high on the series.
No, two small
it's
market teams.
You know, Paolo Benchers pretty much and Frank Warner carrying the Magic. The Cavs, Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen. Jared Allen's just killing the Magic on the damn boards. I mean, destroying them.
Also, the reason why I want the Cavs to win is because I just think that's a better matchup.
Because they would face
overall.
Boston.
Yep.
So, like I said, let's go over that. So, if the Cavs do win, they're going to face Boston on May 11th. That will be game 1 for round 2. And like you said, they just match up better with Boston.
Especially now that Porzingis
is out. That's huge if you're a Boston fan. No Porzingis. So like I said, I'm with him. I hope the Cavs go ahead and wrap this up. I know I said on here I thought this was going to go 7, but now I'm with him. I'm just ready for round 2. I think the Cavs would be a better matchup for Boston. Mavs, Clippers. Mavs. I just want to see the Mavs get it done.
I'm ready for. I'm done with the Kawhi play not play, but even when he did play,
Kawhi quit. He quit. I'm sorry. He quit on the team. I don't care what anybody says. Kawhi quit, and this is multiple times he's done it. And Steve Ballmer gave him the contract extension, so that's
over Paul George.
So yeah, I'm ready for the Clippers to go home. But so potentially for round 2, we think we're gonna get Thunder Mavs. That's what we're hoping for.
Yeah,
that's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be a good series.
That's gonna be a series right there.
That's gonna be I think all around 2 is gonna be a great.
I think all around 2 potentially all those series go 6 to 7 games, maybe outside of Boston and Cleveland. If Cleveland moves on, if Orlando moves on, I think it's done in 5. I think Cavs can probably push to 6, but again, Boston should easily.
Boston should beat.
Regardless, Boston should beat Magic or Cavs in 5, in my personal opinion. So outside of that series, I think the other ones 6 to 7 games. Yeah. So.
Well, then you have the Timberwolves and Nuggets, and that's going to be a good one. We're going to have.
Oh man, and
Bear to throw at Joker. I mean,
Cat, Nas, all those guys. That matchup's going to be. I think that's the matchup I'm most intrigued to see because of what Ant.
Jamal Murray.
Just because of what Ant did to the Suns. I mean, that dude was talking shit to his favorite player that he grew up watching, that he calls his GOAT, Kevin Durant, was literally giving it to him and giving him the buckets at the same time. So, and he's going up against the reigning, defending champion Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic, who you think is going to get his 3rd MVP.
He should.
So that's gonna be a series right there.
Like TikTok, he should win MVP, but if not, I think Luka is definitely the runner-up and should win it. And
then the dogfight of round 2 is the Knicks and Pacers. That's gonna be.
I think that's gonna be like an ugly defensive battle.
So you're thinking like low scoring, like 80, like old school basketball type. Like it's just gonna be
for the Knicks to win. I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, round 2, I'm ready for round 2.
I'm excited to see Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton get at it.
We're not making it. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm not making any promises to you guys, but there's high potential that we could possibly go to a Thunder game in these playoffs. It's something that we're talking about. We'll see what happens. It's something we would like to do. Mm-hmm. Obviously, tickets. A little bit more pressure than we were expecting, but hey, it's the playoffs. We get it.
We're new to this game. We're working on it.
But yeah,
it could be the Nuggets. I mean,
Denver's right there. So I mean, that's a very possibility. So make sure we'll definitely keep you guys posted on that. But like I said, that's the playoffs. What we're looking forward to. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help us keep growing. And thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of J&B Unsupervised.